everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to talk for a few minutes about scheduling. When I had asked on my Facebook, a while back, I guess, man, it's been a long quarantine, hasn't it? But back in March, hey friends, I know a lot of you are homeschooling now for the first time. What questions do you have? How can I help you? I had a lot of people messaging me asking about routines for your day and your schedule for your day. And unfortunately, we don't really keep a super strict schedule. I know there were a lot of ones floating around on Facebook, and all of that's well and good if that works for your family. For mine, it doesn't. We have to be just much more flexible than that. So what we have is a general rhythm. It is really important for kids to have predictability, to know what's coming, to know how the day is going to be structured. For my kids, they really need to know that. They need to know the order of things. But it does not benefit my kids to be obsessed with time. I already have one kid who is very time aware. He loves his clock and his watch. And it used to really stress him out when I would try to have us on a schedule, because if something was scheduled for 2 o'clock and we weren't ready for it until 2:10, he would get anxious about that. So he does a lot better when we don't have specific times scheduled, but instead just have a format of this is the order in which we do our day. So that's what we do, our rhythm. And I'll talk a little bit about what that looks like for us. Okay, so my kids get up at 6 a.m. I don't wake them up at 6. I would love for them to sleep later, but their bodies wake up early. It used to be even earlier, but now it's 6, which is better and awesome. So I try to get up about 5, maybe a few minutes earlier than that. I find that I am just a much better mom if I have a cup of coffee in my system when my kids get out of bed. If I try to sleep in, then when they wake up, I'm just kind of groaning, I'm not ready to get out of bed. But if I go ahead and get up on my own and I have a cup of coffee and just a few minutes of peace and quiet, maybe a chance to read a chapter, kind of look over my planners and know what's on our schedule for the day, I just function so much better. So that's what I do. I get up, have my coffee, and have my morning. And then the kids get up at 6 and we have breakfast, or at least they have breakfast. I am not a huge breakfast person, although I'm trying to get better about that. But for them, it's really good for them to have protein in the morning. They will have much better focus and attention during school if we start the day with protein. So I get them some breakfast, and then we just go through our kind of morning routine. So that's going to be hygiene, make beds, kind of pick up, clean up the breakfast stuff, feed our animals. And then as long as the weather is not awful, we go outside. For me, I have to work in the garden. So I'll water my plants or, harvest whatever's ready, do whatever I need to do in the garden. And the boys get their morning exercise. They will ride bikes or play basketball, or my youngest, he loves to climb trees. He climbs trees pretty much every morning, and they just get their exercise. And that also really, really helps our school day go better. They are so much more focused if they've had time to run outside and just get that energy out, so that then they are ready to sit down and actually do some learning. So once we've been outside, we've done what we need to do, I will usually let them watch a morning educational type show of my choice while I get ready for the day. And then we will meet together for school. School for us, again, we keep a somewhat predictable rhythm. So we start our school with what I call morning basket. I didn't come up with that term. I think maybe Pam Barnhill might have. I'm not sure if it's original to her or not, but that's where I heard of the concept. And morning basket is just, it's just what it sounds like. We have a basket of books, and we will just cuddle up on the couch and maybe light a candle and just kind of read through some of those books. So in our morning basket, we'll usually have a piece of literature that we're reading. We'll have poetry. We might do put on Spotify, whatever composer that we're studying, and listen to a song or two, and just kind of enjoy. It's kind of like a morning ritual, just kind of focusing our minds, connecting. We might read a couple of picture books that have to do with whatever we're studying that day, and we'll kind of go over what our day is going to be, what we're going to learn. If it's on Mondays, I kind of have in my mind like a Monday meeting where I will tell the boys, their spelling words for the week, their vocabulary word for the week, whatever we're focusing on character-wise or habit-wise. And we do all of that just with our book basket. So it's honestly one of my favorite parts of our homeschool. And the boys love it too. They kind of think of it as story time because we do tend to read at least one chapter of our literature in it every day. And we just really enjoy it. So that's how we start our morning. Then we will go to our core subjects. So for us, that's going to be math, spelling, language, phonics and reading for my youngest, handwriting, and we will just kind of work on that. And I'll work with each child individually. So one child might go work on the computer, do typing or something while I'm working with the other, and we just kind of switch back and forth until we get our core work done. And then we will move to our focus for the day. And that I will get into when we wrap up talking about our daily routine and we talk about our weekly routine, which is kind of how I get so many subjects actually done each week. So after we've done our focus and our core, we are done with school for the day. And usually that's before lunchtime. So then we will go have lunch, we'll clean up lunch, and we are free for that afternoon. A lot of times we do have appointments scheduled. One son is in speech, one is in occupational therapy, so we'll have, we might have to do that or whatever, but otherwise we're free and we just have our free afternoons. Charlotte Mason said that kids should be able to play outside for 4 hours a day. Some days that happens at our house, which is awesome when it does. I will usually do my own chores and my own studying during the afternoon while they're having their free time. Whatever reading I'm doing, my own, piano practice, things like that. And I try to have activities that can engage them, but I don't require them to do anything in the afternoon. They're just free to kind of do their own thing. And then we will have dinner. We will clean up dinner as a family and then have our family time and then early bedtime for everyone. So that's how we structure our day. As far as our week, and I'll show you my teacher's planner. I was talking about our focus for the day. I'll move up so you can hopefully see this. This is an actual week out of my teacher's planner from this last semester. This was in June. So on Mondays, we do science. Okay, and backing up, this is what we call block scheduling. You'll hear block scheduling and loop scheduling both come up a lot in the homeschool community. I think loop scheduling might be more popular right now, and that's where you just have a loop of, okay, we're going to do science and we're going to do history, and you just go down your list, and the next day you pick up where you left off and you loop it and just repeat it. That way you're making sure you cover your subjects as frequently as you want to cover them, but there's no requirement of doing X on this day or whatever. For us, that has not been as effective as block scheduling. Block scheduling keeps me more accountable to getting what I need to get done every day, and it also helps us because it eliminates a lot of transitions. So for us, it's not good to transition from multiple subjects. One of my kiddos has a harder time with that, and it also is just time consuming. So after we do our core, just try to focus on really one thing per day. And we will dive into basically a week's worth of that topic typically. So for example, last semester we were doing Build Your Library, and it would usually have 3 to 4 science readings scheduled for a week. But each science reading was just 2 pages. So instead of spreading those out, we will do those all on Monday. And we will do any activities or YouTube videos or whatever we're going to do for science. We will do that on that day, and that will be our focus. So you can see, let me get this so you can see a little better. Monday we did science. Tuesday is our nature study day. And I try to keep both of these in the beginning because I love history, and I used to sometimes sacrifice our science and nature study for the sake of doing more history. So I have to guard against that. And that's again why block scheduling really helps me. On this particular week, we did science also on Wednesday because we were playing catch up a little bit. But typically we will do history on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday is Fine Arts Friday for us. And again, that's something that I found on really busy weeks. I was not getting art done. I was not getting composer study done. I was not getting any of those riches that really make our homeschool what we love. You know, we love having a liberal arts, very well-rounded education. But those things were falling off my schedule on busy weeks because we would be playing catch up. So again, block scheduling has really helped me accomplish more. And with Fine Arts Friday, we don't do math, we don't do language, we don't do spelling. We took all of those things off the schedule so that we could just focus on the enrichment topics, because that way I know that I will get them done. If that is the only thing that is on my school list to do, then it is the priority, and we will do that. We will sometimes read fairy tales, we might make a pot of tea, we'll pull out the art supplies, and we just have a lot of fun with our Fine Arts Fridays. And I think they're gonna be even better this fall, because that was a new thing that we just started, I think in April maybe? Anyway, we were having a blast with it, and we're definitely going to keep that up for the fall. So block scheduling, loop scheduling, two things to definitely check out. What we do is block scheduling. There are other ways to block schedule. Some people will go so far as to maybe just do science one semester and history the next semester. So that's, you know, a really large block of time. Or you might do focus on science for 6 weeks and then history for 6 weeks. We really like to do it kind of day by day, you know, science, nature study, history, fine arts. That just experimenting for the last few years, that has really worked well for us. That has really benefited us. So that I think is what we will stick with from here on out until it doesn't. So anyway, that's how we schedule. By the way, this is a happy planner. This is what I used this past year for planning. You'll also see over here, like Wish Tree was our literature, and I just put like the chapters and we just mark them off as we go. We don't schedule out our literature because we typically get ahead. See if there's anything else on there. On the bottom, that's where, so you see, I changed this. This is supposed to be the days, but instead I put the days up here, and then I do kind of our together work, and then each kid gets a line for their, you know, math, reading, all of that. Anyway, I am switching teachers' planners this year. I am getting the Anna Vance Paper Company one, and I'm so excited. It has not come in the mail yet, but when it does, I will show you. And that's gonna change a little bit of how I do my system, but not how we schedule our homeschool. So I hope this helps. If you have any other questions about scheduling or planners or anything, let me know, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks.